where in loading was I stuck? Map builder stages 4. Map manager stages 1. So it seems like I am stuck in the 4th stage of the map manager. Which would be this part. First, I hate that these two are external. Okay, so one of the things I should be doing here is another probe. It worked so well the first time, I thought I would do it again. So this seems to be making the character foibs, or spawning in characters. These two are not necessary at the moment. So I'm going to run this once more. Since it's in there that I am getting stuck, stage 1, it should tell me where I'm getting stuck. All right, debugger, CFM. So stage 2. Yeah, stage 2 of stage 1, which is get player characters. Hmm. Right. This all should be valid data. Hmm. Not entirely sure what iterator does, but okay. But I do see the issue. that should fix that. But is this repeated here? It is. So I'll take care of this before I do any tests. Well, there we go. Now, once networking gets into the fray, I might not actually need to get these two things. That might just be managed behind the scenes. What did I change? Did I? Okay. I guess this one is a little bit more complicated since it's getting two variables. The control method, then control argument. It does seem to be getting the right things and the right things. If that made any sense. So it's control method. What's in oh, okay. Wait. What? I think this will allow me to breeze right through everything. Am I going to get stuck on everything? Perhaps. Where am I stuck? MM stage, map manager. So chart void maker stage is 2. Wait, hold on. Sorry, I'm a little tired. Okay, yeah, that's still the same. Okay. Hmm. Why is it getting stuck? Hmm. So we're stuck in stage 2. So this is the code that is running. This is the code responsible for getting me out of stage 2 and into stage 3, or if not a network game, then stage 5. I see why this is. One more thing I should probably add, but I will need to check the later stage 2. Hold on. Okay, yeah, that sets it. So this is not necessary. Will this work? Well, no. But will this give me the result that I would expect? Probably not, but I would like to see anyways. I have been surprised before. So what this is supposed to be doing is it's supposed to be creating the thing necessary to actually spawn the characters and give them their correct information. Okay, so let's see. Probe CFM stage is equal to 2. But flag trefoil jump to stage 3 is 1, which means, unless I have programmed my flag incorrectly, which doesn't seem like it would be possible, being that it's nested, would mean that this jump would be taken. But I might see why it's not. Will this solve everything? Will this magically fix all my issues? Seems like I got somewhere. I don't think I have any characters placed down, but nonetheless. Hold on. Well, first, I don't have a spawn point placed down either, so that's. If I did have a character, that would be actually an error. But nonetheless, let's put one in. Alright. What's the thing necessary for a spawn point? Let's look in stage 0 and find out. Hold all of this. Stage 2 of stage 0. Should probably name this substage. So, VoIPs. Spawn point. Okay, so not right now. So thing is the entry, then we want, what do we want? We want the actual thing, which is spawn point. Then what we want after that is an X position. Let's say 512. Then a Y position. Now this currently isn't, but should be gotten from gotten from the file. So what I'm going to do, what I'm going to do, I'm going to change this, but I know that means that I'm going to have to change everything after that. If I remember correctly, that will validate. It didn't give me an error, so I guess it did. So now this is 5 and 6 instead of 4 and 5. If it's all the same, then I have no idea why this would be going from 6 onwards. But let's not waste space. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 5, 5, 6, 5. Wait, what is? Oh, I don't think I'm actually going to use this, but I'll keep it there. 5, 5, 5, 6, 7. I guess that's all. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, and 4 are all the things. Then for spawn point, I'll give that an idea of 1. Spawn point will have spawn, which actually probably shouldn't surround with that with quotes, because I think quotes are still included. And animation is empty. I think this might work. Okay, so there is a spawn point now. I don't feel like a character did not spawn in. But let's check the properties of the spawn point. Okay, animation, empty. I guess that just is what this gives back. It's been a while since I've written that code, so I have absolutely no idea what its finer points are. In any case, animation, empty, ID 1, spawn, player 1. Is there a charfoid? Yes, with a prefix player 1. Name, Miles, order 1. I'm not entirely sure what order is used for. Control method 2, control arg 0, control local, character ID 0, and char ID 1. Okay, let's see. I'm going to do that, and we should be good. Now with that, this should give me a spawn with, I think, uh, character 1. Char 1. I should spawn in a char 1 object. Oh, we do have a character 1 object, but it doesn't seem to be controlled by the player, which is me in this case. So let's see. Okay, move lock is 0, which is not a valid value that I would set it to. Instead, it's a default. And so is cam lock. So let's see. And now it's centered, but it's still walking in place. And now it should be controllable. There we go. Now, this still constitutes a bit of a problem. As you see, a player cannot be expected to have a debugger handy to set the character's properties correctly. So we got to do that ourselves. So, what do we do? Well, objects, variables, variable of an object. Actually want text of a variable of an object. And we want characters. And we want cam lock. And we want that to be false with a capital F. And we want the same for move lock. This way, movement and camera tracking are free to take their natural course. Of course, you could have a camera lock and not movement locked, which would mean that the camera would stay in the same place, but you could move around the character. Or you could have a movement lock without a character lock, or without a camera lock, which means that the character will not necessarily move by your inputs, but nonetheless the camera will follow. About 30 minutes left. 30 minutes left. Now, currently, this is completely useless. Actually, there is a use for movement lock. Certain character abilities will lock the player in place, and it uses this. There are currently no uses for camera lock. But I suppose if I wanted to override the normal camera behavior, oh hey, what do you know? Uh, then I would be able to do so easily just by setting cam lock to true and then having my own camera code put in. I mean, like the original code is my code, but I would be adding more code. I'd be adding code to code and then disabling the first section of code. Okay, so now I can move around. That's neat, but what does it get me? not a whole lot when there's absolutely nothing to do. So another thing we'll be doing is adding a spawn point for, I don't remember, that is another thing that can be spawned is an officer. Yep. And then there's also a W murderer and B murderer for white and blue murderer. And automatically, my code is coming into fruition from before. Thank goodness for testing maps. All right. So from this point, I need to go ahead and also confirm some other things to be working. This should be a 2. I want a piece of collision. What piece of collision do I want? Let's see. I guess I will take invisible collision up. And what it wants is, let's see, common stretchy. So 2 and 3 are positions. So then this one is a ID. Then we have width and height. So let's say there we go. All right, hold on. No, wait, I saved. Okay, so there is a collision piece. It's just right here. Seems to be carrying over none of the things. So let's see. Map builder dot width. Map builder dot height. Five and 6. So wait. It's the thing. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which should be its width. It's an ICU, so variable map builder dot width. Map builder dot width. This is perplexing. need to add yet another probe. Wait a minute. So to confuse anything. Wait a minute. It seems like it wouldn't interfere here. Okay. This should give me some useful information. Know that it's not going to be anywhere except for this tiny little corner. So let's take a look at the variables. Probe, thing width, and thing height. Both are 0, which is confusing. The very last thing loaded is this. Unless one, two, three, four. Okay, we no longer have a single matching variable in this entire thing. So if we see one of these variables show up, we know that there's something going wrong somewhere. Nonetheless, we do not. All that I can expect is that it is no longer in the corner, and it is not. Where is it? 64, 32. So 64 across, 32 up. Right? Hold on, let me double check. All right, it would be right here. I was thinking that this is 32, but it's 128. Okay. So, what do we have to do now? I'm not quite entirely sure. Huh. Iterator 1. I'm going to pop that down to iterator. Let's hope that this works. Because it might be taking from unused slash not existent properties of map size, since I'm guessing iterator 1 doesn't get incremented. And thus it's always reading from this, but since it doesn't have those entries, it would give an empty, and then when that gets converted, it just turns into a 0. That's at least my guess. Okay, so it's still not that big. Still small, and this still has the same 2 properties, or 2 variables for its properties. I don't know what's going on. Even when I change this, still seems to be giving me problem. Maybe it's because it's not this. Maybe I'm just really, really, really dumb. I mean, that is true, but that's also probably why this didn't work. It's because the programmer working on it, that would be me, is an idiot. As I am the only programmer who works on this entire thing, there would be absolutely no one else to point to and say it didn't work because of them. Ah, not quite as white as I expected, but nonetheless is working as intended. And to change that fact, all I have to do is, let's see, 32 and 1024. There we go. And there we go. Lovely. Now that we see that at least one bit of stretchy collision works, what if we threw in another? Will this also work? Yep. Works as expected. Okay. Now, instead of just testing all of the things here, I'm going to just kind of trust that it works for now. I need to. I probably should spawn in a zone, or well, an area. I feel like if I get an area to work, then a zone would definitely work. Actually, one of the things I should probably do is map builder thing ID. Right. So let's see. Wait a minute. Does the frame spawn in? So I mean, I saw the progress bar spawn in, but I'm not entirely sure if the rest of everything spawns in. Yet another recompile. All right, play in a window. Yep. I mean, there's orange text right here, but that is expected. There we go. I saw the frame. It was there. Okay. So with that being said, wait a minute. Okay. With that being said, area. Width and height are automatically gotten from previous things. Okay, yeah, they are. Okay, so then we read for the name. Let's see. Eight zero five, then 1024, and 128 for with the height. And let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this has to be 7, 8. Maybe I was on to something earlier before I changed this. All right. 7 is the name. So where? Actually, I'm going to get rid of the quotations. They're unnecessary unless I'm going to use punctuation that it's otherwise used already. It's a name. Type. And lighting. Let's see how this works. It recognizes the area as as being named foyer, but it doesn't seem to appear here. I'm gonna have a closer look at the code responsible for that. Okay, foyer light up. And wait, hold on. Case element display. Type of area. Okay, so type is 0, which is incorrect. Stage 0 area. Area with 8. Type, which is 8. Well, this is incorrect. That should do it. It's probably going to be it. Maybe. Actually, there's 3 minutes left. I don't think it will take that long to compile. But I'm probably not going to do too much more. Well, I got like 3 minutes left. at this point. Just under. Window. All right. What do you know? It lights up. But it seems to continue to light up. Does it do that if I have another area that is different? Oh, all right. Does it default to setting the murderer as true? I guess technically does look for any murderer to negate the condition. So since there are no murderers, there are no murderers to negate such a condition. What else is there? There's item spawner and object spawner. But that is going to be it for me today. If you were here, thank you. If you're watching this later on YouTube, thank you. But that is going to be it for me today. So until I see you again, this is goodbye.